Hello students, welcome to Gnanmanjri Vidyapeeth Online Education. I am Abhishek Goswami. I hope that you all are fine and safe at your home. So in the last lecture we completed our chapter number 4 and it is about national movements in India. So in this chapter we discuss about some famous national movements in India. Like first of all we discussed about great uprising of 1857. Then we discussed about Bang Bang movement like indigenous and boycott movements. Then we discussed about revolutionary movements in Gujarat, India and in foreign country also. Then we discussed about Rowlatt Act, arrival of Gandhiji in 1915. Then we discussed about Khilafat movement, non-cooperation movement, and in the last we discussed about Swarajya Party. So this is about our chapter number 4, and in today's lecture we will start our chapter number 5, and it is about movement towards independence. So let's get start the chapter. So first of all, I will give you some introduction from this chapter. So in this chapter, we will learn about time period from 1920 to 1947. In the first chapter, we learned about British development in India, like we discussed about from 1600 to 1764. Then in fourth chapter, we discussed about after 1857 to 1920. So this is the first phase of independence, and in this chapter we will learn about the period of 1920 to 1947. This is the second stage of national movement in India. Like first stage, it is some indigenous movements like we discussed in our chapter number 4, but in this chapter we will learn about second stage of national movement in India. It is very important for our independence. So in this chapter we will discuss about them. So let's start our chapter. So the period from 1920 to 1947 is considered as Gandhian age and the Gandhian movements of struggle for independence. So you must remember in this chapter we will learn about the period from 1920 to 1947, and it is considered as Gandhian age or Gandhian movements of struggle for independence. Means in this time period emergence of Gandhiji, we can say that. This second stage of national movement of India is the struggle for having constitutional rights. Moreover, it is the struggle for the freedom of India too. So in the second stage of national movement, means in between 1920 to 1947, India is struggle about having constitutional rights, and it is the struggle for freedom of India too. So there was two agenda for the national movement in India in the second stage. Like first of all Indians demanded that having constitutional rights, and second, struggle for freedom also. So there was two agenda of the independence. Then this struggle passed through the stream of events, and there was a uniform effect of it. So we shall observe the effects in this chapter. So we will learn all the effects of the second stage of national movement of India. So let's start our chapter. So first of all, let's learn about Simon Commission. So Montfort, Montagu-Chelmsford 1990 amendment declared that a commission should be sent to India after 10 years to examine the effects and operations of the constitutional reforms and to suggest more reforms for India. But 2 years later, government appointed Simon Commission. So first of all, Montagu-Chelmsford 1990 amendment. It declared that a commission should be sent to India after 10 years for examine the effects and operations of constitutional reforms and suggest more reforms for India. But after 2 years later, after this amendment, 2 years later, government appointed Simon Commission. So Simon Commission will be appointed after 10 years from Montagu-Chelmsford Amendment, but some circumstances there, that's why it would it appointed after 2 years of Montagu-Chelmsford Amendment. So the commission consisted of Sir John Simon and 7 other members. You must remember the members of the Simon Commission. Like how many members was consisted in Simon Commission. So there was total 8 members in the Simon Commission. First of all, Sir John Simon and 7 other members. Then all of them were members of British Parliament. And this is very interesting point. All the members of Simon Commission were the members of British Parliament. There was not a single Indian member in the Simon Commission. Not any single Indian member was consisted in the Simon Commission. So Indians recommended inclusion of Indian members in the commission so as to understand the problems and pains of Indian society. But Britishers rejected this recommendation. What Indians recommended for the Simon Commission? Indians recommended inclusion of Indian members, introduction of Indian members in the Simon Commission for the better understanding of problems and pains of Indian society. But Britishers rejected this recommendation. So that's why the Indian decided to oppose it. So what Indians decided for the Simon Commission? Indian decided to oppose it. So Simon Commission was greeted with strikes, assembly, processions, and loud slogans of Simon go back and unfurling of black flags and apparel. So, what Indian do after Simon Commission was appointed? Indian Simon Commission was greeted with strikes, assembly, processions, loud slogans of Simon go back, unfurling of black flags and apparel. So the British government suppressed the movement mercilessly. After this movement, after this such situation, British government suppressed the movement mercilessly. Then the assistant police superintendent ordered the lathi charge on Lalaji's procession. Lala Lajpat Rai was famous leader from this procession. Like assistant police superintendent ordered lathi charge on Lalaji's procession. So Lala Lajpat Rai was injured seriously while taking the lead of procession in Lahore. So you must remember in this procession the Lala Lajpat Rai's role was very important. Like Lajpat Rai was injured very seriously during this procession. And after few months later he passed away due to serious injury. After few months later he passed away, means Lala Lajpat Rai was passed away due to Simon Commission's procession. The news of Lalaji's death instigated Veer Bhagat Singh, Sukhdev and Rajguru. Therefore, they killed Saunders. So after heard of this news, like Lalaji's death news, this news instigated Veer Bhagat Singh, Sukhdev and Rajguru, and that's why they killed Saunders. So this is about Simon Commission. Then let's move to our next topic, and it is Nehru Committee. So with the opposition of Simon Commission, Hindi Wazir Barkan had presented a draft of the constitution as in Simon Commission, in which it stated that the Indian leaders of the all parties formulate appropriate constitution which the British government will further think upon. So for the opposition of Simon Commission, our Hindi Wazir Barkan had presented a draft for the constitution in the Simon Commission, and this draft stated that the Indian leaders of all parties formulate appropriate constitution, and after this draft British government will further think on this draft. By understanding the challenges of this report, National General Assembly President drafted Nehru Committee report. This report, which was given, is known as Nehru Report, in which states the dominion status, independent judiciary, fundamental rights, adult suffrage. So this was the agenda of Nehru Committee report, like dominion status, independent judiciary, fundamental rights and adult suffrage. Eventually, the British government rejected the recommendations made in this report. After all, British government rejected this all recommendation made in this report. So this is about Nehru Committee. You must remember it was drafted by Nehru Committee report. Then let's move to our next topic, and it is demand for complete independence. After two events like procession of Simon Commission and Nehru Committee report, there was such great demand for complete independence. So demand for complete independence in 1929. So during this time, National Assembly members Jawaharlal Nehru, Subhash Chandra Bose were active national leaders. During this time, like during 1929, Jawaharlal Nehru, Subhash Chandra Bose were active national leaders of India. They were the propagators of complete independence. They were the first propagators of complete independence. Like they wanted complete independence of India from British government. Youth of India were not happy with the dominion status. On the banks of the river Ravi in Lahore, under the leadership of Jawaharlal Nehru, National General Assembly passed a resolution of complete independence. So this incident you must remember, like on the banks of river Ravi in Lahore, under the leadership of Jawaharlal Nehru, National General Assembly passed a resolution of complete independence. After that, on 26th January 1930, the members took the oath of complete independence. This date you must remember, 26th January 1930. On this date, the members of the National General Assembly took the oath of complete independence. That's why this day, like this date, 26th January, it is very important date for our all Indians. Like now we celebrate 26th January as National Republic Day. So after these incidents, it was decided that we will celebrate 26th January as National Republic Day. So since then, January 26th has become memorable for all of us. It is very memorable moment for us. Independent India has made the Republic Day memorable by implementing the Constitution of India on this day. So this is very important date, like on 26th January 1950, the Constitution of India is implemented. So that's why 26th January we celebrate Republic Day. As 26th January we celebrate as a Republic Day. So this point you must remember. Then let's move to our next topic, and it is Dandi Yatra from March 12 to April 6, 1930. So as a part of civil disobedience movement, Gandhiji decided to go Dandi village by its sea coast to break the salt law. You must remember Dandi Yatra was the part of civil disobedience movement. And during Dandi Yatra, first of all Gandhiji decided to go Dandi village and its sea coast to break the salt law. Main agenda of the Dandi Yatra was break the salt law. On the of 11th March evening, in the assembly of thousands people, the message of Satyagraha was sent. So first day of Dandi Yatra was 11th March evening. During this time, the assembly was organized and the message of Satyagraha was sent. Even if people got arrested, with the firm determination of non-violence, struggle against government continued. In this movement, in this assembly, many people got arrested, but it is firm determination of non-violence, like struggle against government continued. On 12th March 1930, under the leadership of Gandhiji, commenced Dandi Yatra with his supporters from Harijan Ashram and singing the hymn Vaishnavjan to tenere kaiye je peed parai jhane re. So Dandi Yatra was started with the Harijan Ashram. You must remember this place. Now it is known as Gandhi Ashram or Sabarmati Ashram, but during the Dandi Yatra, it was known as Harijan Ashram, and Dandi Yatra was started with the Harijan Ashram. And during this Dandi Yatra, all the Satyagrahis singing the hymn like Vaishnavajan to tenere kaiye je peed parai jhane re. And Gandhiji said in Dandi Yatra on 29th March 1930 that I shall die the death of crow and dog, but I will not return to this ashram without attaining Purna Swaraj. So during this Dandi Yatra, this sentence was very famous. Like Gandhiji told that I shall die the death of crow and dog, but I will not return to this ashram without attaining Purna Swaraj. So during this movement, we can see that the feeling of our all Indians, like all Indians wanted to get Purna Swaraj, total independence from British people. Then brave never run away from struggle. One who runs by seeing the struggle is not brave. This was famous quote during the Dandi Yatra. Like brave never run away from struggle, and the one who runs by seeing the struggle, it is not brave. Gandhiji along with his supporters started the Dandi March. This march was 370 kilometers, which included Aslali, Bareja, Nadiad, Anand, Boriavi, Ras, Jambusar, Bharuch and Surat, Navsari as well as small and large regions of South India and South Gujarat and Middle Gujarat. So total kilometers of this march was 370 kilometers, and the route of this Dandi Yatra was Aslali, Bareja, Nadiad, Anand, Boriavi, Ras, Jambusar, Bharuch, Surat, Navsari as well as small and large regions. During Dandi March in these regions, people were explained the reason for civil disobedience movement and breaking the salt law. The main agenda of this Dandi Yatra was it is also the part of civil disobedience movement, so that's why it is very important for all Indians. And second, breaking the salt law. This was two agenda of this Dandi Yatra. As Dandi March passed through these small and large towns, people used to clean the village roads and decorate their houses with torans and showed conscious for the Satyagraha. So people supported this Dandi Yatra as uh, very much efforts. Like people used to clean the village roads, decorate their houses with torans, and showed conscience for the Satyagraha. Dandi Yatra had a wonderful effect in creating the astonishing faith, unity, and consciousness among people. All of the nation was having a wave of Satyagraha. Gandhiji, along with his colleagues and supporters, reached Dandi after 24 days of march. Like on 5th April 1930, they reached to Dandi. So you must remember Dandi Yatra was started with Sabarmati Ashram, Gandhi Ashram or Harijan Ashram, but it was ended to Dandi. After 24 days, they were reached to Dandi. On early morning of April 6, Gandhiji broke the salt law by picking a handful of salt from the sea coast. So you must remember this date. On early morning of 6th April, Gandhiji broke the salt law by picking a handful of salt from the sea coast. In a loud voice, Gandhiji stated, "I have broken the salt law." And while addressing the people gathered there, he uttered, "I by this event am applying salt to foundation of building in form of British Empire." So these two sentence you must remember. First of all, Gandhiji said that I have broken the salt law, and second sentence you must remember, I by this event am applying salt to foundation of building in the form of British Empire. Then Shri Mahadevbhai Desai was the personal secretary of Gandhiji during Dandi March. Mahadevbhai Desai has compared this event as Mahabhinish Kraman, the great renunciation. So you must remember Mahadevbhai Desai was compared this event as Mahabhinish Kraman. Then the journalists, photographers, writers, historians of India across the world visited and published report about their witnessed in their own newspapers and booklets. So this Dandi March was famous across the world, like uh, some famous historians, writers, photographers, journalists of the whole world visited to Dandi and published a report what they witnessed and on their newspaper and booklets. In this way, the Dandi Yatra, which started from Sabarmati Ashram on 12th March, was nationally acclaimed. So this date was become a very famous date, like 12th March, because it is on this date Dandi Yatra was started, achieved its physical completion, but it started applying salt to foundation of building in the form of British Empire. Civil disobedience movement generated new national consciousness among people of India. The British police beat them mercilessly. For the opposition of this Dandi Yatra, British government uh, beat the all Indians, all the members of this Dandi Yatra mercilessly. Lathi charge, arrest, shooting and operation on women and children continued, but agitation did not decrease. So during this Dandi Yatra, we can see that the feeling of nationalism in our Indians, like for the opposition, then for the suppression and oppression of this Dandi Yatra, police beat them mercilessly, then lathi charge, arrest, shooting and operation on women and small children continued, but this agitation did not decrease. Like feeling of nationalism, feeling of independence did not decrease. During Dandi March, numerous constructive programs like boycott of foreign clothes, prohibition of liquor, removing untouchability, Hindu-Muslim unity, and oath to do social service, etc. were held. So these was famous programs, activities during Dandi March, like boycott of foreign clothes, prohibition of liquor, like prohibition of drinking in India, removing untouchability. This was also famous social evil during this time in India. Hindu-Muslim unity. This was main agenda of all the movements during this time, and ought to do social service were held. Then Dandi Yatra and breaking salt law brought not only nationwide consciousness, but it brought fame in aspects of non-violent struggle and movements worldwide. So in for the independence, we can see that there was many movements in our India, and first stage it was very uh, terrify, like we can say that's all revolutionary was in first stage of movements, like we can see that the period of 1857 to 1920, it was the period of violence in India, but after Gandhiji's arrival in India, the famousness of non-violent struggle spread to all the world, all the India, like it movements spread to worldwide. So processions, programs and assemblies were conducted for boycotting foreign goods, prohibition of foreign liquor, and picketing on liquor making, not giving revenue tax, satyagraha for removal of untouchability. This was famous agenda. This was famous points of Dandi Yatra and civil disobedience movement. You must remember boycotting foreign goods, prohibition of foreign liquor and picketing on liquor making, not giving revenue tax, satyagraha for removal of untouchability, to get independence. Then to weaken these agitations and struggles, the government started lathi charge, imprisonment and other atrocities. So what government do for this, for the weaken of this agitation and struggles? Like government started lathi charge, imprisonment and other atrocities on the people. People reacted by destroying the railway station, post office, police station and other government buildings. What people reacted after these atrocities, imprisonment and lathi charge? People reacted like they destroyed railway station, post office, police station and other government buildings. Incidents like suppression of agitation under the leadership of Abdul Ghaffar Khan, Frontier Gandhi at Vadala, Bombay, struggle against foreign liquor under the leadership of Kasturba Gandhi in Bombay, Gharsana in Surat, and in Viramgam during the Salt Law agitation. Dandi Yatra plus two or three movements like very famous during this period, like uh, agitation under the leadership of Abdul Ghaffar Khan, like suppression of this agitation of uh, government like lathi charge, imprisonment and atrocities. So for the suppression of this agitation under the leadership Abdul Ghaffar Khan, Abdul Ghaffar Khan was also known as Frontier Gandhi, and he was the leader of this suppression. Like uh, he carried out some suppression and in Vadala, Bombay, struggle against foreign liquor under the leadership of Kasturba Gandhi. Kasturba Gandhi was the wife of Gandhiji. Then in Karsana, Surat, Viramgam. So this all place was famous during this period for the agitation, uh, for the uprising, for the famous movements. Then during Salt Law agitation, renunciation of government services as well as removal of children from government schools were the major highlights of these movements. And last major highlights of this movement was renunciation of government services, like removal of all children from government schools, means boycotting of foreign education like English education, adopted Indian education. So this was major highlights of this movement also. So this is about Dandi Yatra. We saw that Dandi Yatra, like it was started during 1920, and it was started from the Sabarmati Ashram, Gandhi Ashram or Harijan Ashram, and it was completed for to the Dandi. Then we saw that some famous moments along with Dandi Yatra. So I hope you understood very well from Dandi March. It was very famous topic for independence movement. So you must remember this topic. Then let's move to our last topic of this video lecture. It is Gandhi-Irwin Pact, Round Table Conference and Moratorium of Satyagraha. So Gandhiji was called upon by the Britishers for the Round Table Conference related to the constitutional structures and reforms. So after Dandi Yatra, after civil disobedience movement, Britisher called Gandhiji for Round Table Conference it is related to constitutional structures and reforms in India. So first round table conference was held, but with the absence of Congress leader, it was futile. So first round table conference was held, but absence of Congress leader, it was failure. To reconcile the Congress, the pact between Gandhiji and Irwin was made, which was known as Gandhi-Irwin Pact, March 1931, in which permission of free collection or manufacture of salt by persons near the sea coast and permission of peaceful picketing were main points. So, Gandhi-Irwin Pact, you must remember the pact between Gandhiji and Irwin was made after first round table conference, and the main agenda of this Gandhi-Irwin Pact was permission of free collection or manufacture of salt by persons near the sea coast and permission of peaceful picketing were the main points of this Gandhi-Irwin Pact. So you must remember this pact, it was named by Gandhiji and Irwin, and it was made on March 1931. In the second round table conference, Gandhiji was the only representative from Congress. British had discriminating all points various religious committees to which Gandhiji was deeply disappointed. Therefore, the conference was dissolved. So, after first round table conference, the second round table conference was held. And in the second round table conference, Gandhiji was only representative from Congress. And during this round table conference, Britishers had discriminating all the points of Gandhi-Irwin Pact. So Gandhiji was deeply disappointed after second round table conference, and therefore conference was also dissolved. It was divided into many parts. So this is about Gandhi-Irwin Pact, Roundtable Conference and Moratorium of Satyagraha. So I hope you understood very well about this topic. So this is about our today's lecture. In this lecture, we have started our chapter number 5. In this chapter, first of all, we have discussed about Simon Commission. Then we have discussed about Nehru Report. Then we have discussed about Dandi Yatra, Dandi March, and in the last we have discussed about Gandhi-Irwin Pact, Roundtable Conference and Moratorium of Satyagraha. I hope you understood very well about all the topics, all the points, and if you have any doubts regarding all the points, you can ask me anytime. So now this is end of the video. In the next video, we will move further in the chapter. So have a nice day. Thank you very much for joining me.